Well, creative writing students, we have made it. This is going to be your last screencast. This is screencast number 7. I'm going to explain to you guys what your final project is going to be. And just remember, if you guys have any questions, your Zoom link is right here at the top of your classwork page in Google Classroom. Please come stop in Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 10:30. The password is Panthers. I will be there if you guys have any questions. If you guys, if those times do not work for you, please send me an email and we can set up another time. We are going to wrap it up, and guys, Wednesday, May 13th is it. So if I don't have your work by May 13th at 2 o'clock, then it's not going to count at that point. So guys, please make sure you get everything to me by Wednesday, May 13th at 2 o'clock. If you have questions, please send me an email or stop in on Zoom. You guys have 3 free rides for this week because we only have 3 days this week for you guys. So here's free rides 52 through 54. Those count as your attendance credit as well as your daily points. So be sure you guys are adding those to your live binders. And your final closing project, we're not officially going to do a large final like what I typically have classes do. I typically have classes, we do 3 revisions, we write some reflections on each piece. We update the portfolios. Because I'm not there to help you guys through this process, I have simplified your final project. What I'm going to have you guys do is just write the query letter. Now this talks about what a query letter is. Basically, it is a letter to a prospective publisher where you are trying to sell your work, trying to get them to read your work and invest in you as a writer. So your final project is going to be to add a query letter to your portfolio. You will need to add a main tab titled query letter just after the table of contents in your portfolio. So I'm going to go up, here's the sample portfolio. If you guys will notice my tabs across the top, notice I have a new tab entitled query letter. Okay, I'm going to go in my edit tab just to make sure you guys understand how to do this. If you guys want to reorder things, for instance, if I wanted my free writes ahead, I would click on that little red arrow next to the tab I have opened, and notice you can move the tab, for instance, to the left. I don't really want it there. I'm going to move it back to the right. But just to show you guys, this program does not allow you to actually drag things. I wish it did, but you have to click on the red arrows to get it to move things. But the query letter should be the very first tab in your creative writing journal or your portfolio. Okay, so I want you guys to attach. Please see the attached Please see the attached PowerPoint and website for tips on writing a successful query letter. I want you guys to type this in a Google Doc and share it with me, and then I do want you guys to attach that document in your live binder. Just as a reminder, if you go up to content, and if you notice if you click on Drive, that will allow you'll have to go ahead and log into your account, but that will allow you to directly upload your work to the live binder. Be sure you share it with me, because even if you put it in your live binder, if you have not shared it with me so that I can see it, it will not be visible to me. So be sure that you also share it with me through your Google Docs. Okay, this is the PowerPoint that you guys will need to look through. This is a 40-point assignment. What is a query letter? It is located at the beginning of your portfolio. It serves to introduce yourself as a writer to a potential publisher. There is a website here that you click on. It should be 1 page typed, approximately 300 words. It has to be 300 words, but it should be approximately 300 words, about 3 to 5 paragraphs. Okay, and it should not be any longer than 1 page. Okay, it will be written in Google Docs, and it should be shared with me. This is your scoring guide, what I'm going to look for to grade you on this project. You should have a hook. Get your reader interested about your writing, share the titles and genres of your work. That is worth 10 points. So draw me in, tell me a little bit about your writing. Summarize your work this semester. What are some memorable main characters that you've created? What happens in your works? What's kind of a general theme that you see emerge? Remember to leave the reader wanting more. So don't give everything away in your summary of your work, but kind of give us a little sampling and get us interested in what you're writing about. You should have a brief biography. This should include information that is relevant to writing. So make sure whatever you are saying, it connects back to your writing somehow. I was born in central Missouri in a very rural community, in my writing, I like to focus on the rural community aspects. Okay, so connect your biography to your writing. Okay, and conventions. This, guys, the letter should be written in an interesting way to catch the reader's attention, to catch a publisher's attention. Remember, they look at hundreds of queries on a weekly basis. Okay, so you have to try to stand out and be what they're looking for. There should be absolutely no spelling, grammar, or punctuation errors in this at all. Okay, that is key. You need to stand out. And you don't want to stand out by having a bunch of errors. This is the website that was linked in the PowerPoint. I also went ahead and included it here. How to write a darn good query letter. This was by the New York Times, or the New York book editors, excuse me, not New York Times. New York book editors put this through. And I'm hoping this would it's kind of blog style. It's written in a very, very informal way that I think will be helpful for you guys. At least it was helpful for me. It kind of explains to you what a query letter is. Notice it should be short, sweet, and to the point. Okay, notice it should be approximately 300 words. No longer than 1 page. Okay, double spaced. It's kind of a marketing page. You want to talk up your book. Here is some tips on how to write a good one. Do follow the tried and trusted formula. Guys, this is not a time to be flashy or try something new, okay? You need to stick to the formula. Introduce yourself, summarize your works, give us a little biography, and notice this kind of gives you paragraph 1. This is your opportunity to hook the literary agent. Share any connection you have here with the agent. You met him or her at a conference, or you're a fan of specific authors that he or she represents. Okay, if you don't have a specific connection with the person, get immediately into the action. The job of the first paragraph is to keep the agent or the publisher reading. Okay, you also want to share the title and genre of your book. It's also a great place to include your book's word count if that becomes applicable for you. And always include your word count. This is one of the most important information tidbits in your query letter. So it's kind of interesting to think about as well. So they give you some samples of some other authors and what they have done in their successful query letters. Paragraph 2. Now that you've hooked the agent, it's time to summarize your story. Discuss the main characters, what happens, what choice they must make now. Don't give away the entire plot. Leave the agent or the publisher wanting more by structuring the paragraph in a cliffhanger. And I opened this up for you guys because we didn't really get a chance to revise specifically one work that you might be wanting to sell to a publisher or an agent. So I opened this up more and look at the whole class. Summarize your works that you have done. Is there a general theme that runs throughout them? Is there a certain type of main character that you like to create? So since we had to change things a little bit because of not being in school physically, I did change this to expand it more so that you can talk about your work as a whole, not just one specific work. And the third paragraph, add your bio, but make sure it's relevant to writing. Impress your agent with writing awards and credibility. You attend a yearly conference or related writing experience. Keep it short, no more than 2 sentences. Okay? So guys, it should be 3 paragraphs. It should be to the point. It should be very specific. But remember, you need to give us enough information that you're also trying to sell yourself and get people interested. Use short paragraphs and short sentences when possible. Do use a similar tone to your narrative. It's kind of neat if they can almost use this query letter as a sampling for what your writing is like. Do follow the submission guidelines. Guys, if there is an agent that wants a specific guideline for the query letter, or the publisher wants a specific guideline for the query letter, guys, be sure you're following those guidelines because they will not even look at you if you can't follow the guidelines. So that is critical, guys. They get hundreds of these a week. Okay, so you need to make sure that you're following the rules as well. And this talks about some different agencies and what those guidelines are. Do mention that your book has been reviewed by a professional editor. If it has been, I have been reading this, so you could say it's been reviewed by your English teacher at this point. Be careful, don't oversell it. Don't say things like, get ready to read your next bestseller, or this book belongs with treasured classics. You'll kick yourself if you pass this one up. You know, words like that are kind of cliche. Yeah, you want to sell your work, but you don't want to come across as sounding desperate. Okay, so think about that. And you know, also don't go the other direction and say things like, I hope I'm not wasting your time. Okay, so you want to sound very positive. This is the don't forget. You don't need to worry about this. This is the self-addressed stamped envelope. We're not actually mailing these off. But if you were to mail these off, don't forget to include a self-addressed stamped envelope in your query letter along with your copyright of your manuscript. And don't handwrite or use strange fonts in your query letter. Guys, be very, very basic, very straightforward. Okay? And that is pretty much it. If you guys have any questions about what should be in the query letter, guys, I mean, there are certain things I'm looking for: that hook, summary of your work, and the biography and how that connects to your writing. But by the same token, you know, you also have a little bit of a flexibility here as well. So you can be creative. But remember, not real wordy, no longer than 1 page, minimum of 3 paragraphs. Okay? So that is it. I want to wish you guys the best of luck. If you all have any questions, please let me know. And best of luck, guys.